everybody. Welcome to our live video today. And as you notice, we're in the Halloween themed. We are going to be making some Swarovski ghost earrings, and I actually will be giving you we will be listing the material list later on today in the video, along with a more economical version. So these are what we're making today. They're little spooky earrings. Their body is made with 8 different ball pins with crystals on them, and then we glue the face onto one of the crystals. I'm actually going to start with the face so that can be drying while I show you how to make the rest of the ghost. Please go ahead and share and like the video, and if you have any questions for me today, go ahead and put them in the comments. We'll try to get those answered during the live show. And I do watch the show afterwards. If anything doesn't get answered during the live show, I will go in and comment on it later on. Okay, so you will, for this project, will be needing some 8mm faceted beads. I like the faceted because it makes it easy for me to determine where I am going to be putting the face of the ghost. You also will be needing a 4mm round bead. And we need some flatbacks. We have the SS7 for the eyes and the SS9 for the mouth. You will need some ball pins, some jump rings, an ear wire, and a bead cap. The bead cap that you choose, you want to make sure that it has holes in the bead caps, so that, because that is where we're going to be hanging the body of the ghost from. And this one has 8 different holes in it. On the economical version, as you can tell here, I'm going to show you both trays with the Swarovskis and with the economical beads. It's pretty much all the exact same product. You're just changing out the beads. With COVID and a lot of things being out of stock and stuff, if you can't find one, we're just reminding you that you can substitute. You don't always have to use the exact same items. I did use a different bead cap for the economical version one, but like I said before, you just want to make sure that it has the holes in the bead cap so you have something to dangle the body from. So as I mentioned, I'm going to start with the head. That way I'm going to glue the face on, and that way it can be drying while I do the rest of the body. So I'm just putting the ball pin on here just so that I know where the direction of it's going to be to help me. And then I just used a spare scrap polymer clay. You can use wax, anything that's just going to get that bead to sit in place there for you. I love this 2-part epoxy. It is a 5-minute epoxy. Once you mix it, you have a little bit less than 5 minutes to work with it. Doesn't take much because you're just gluing on a very simple space, but when you do it, you want to press. It has 2 sides to the glue. You want to make sure that you're pressing evenly on both sides. There we go. Oh, this side didn't come out. There we go. Okay. And as you can see there, that's very little what I'm using, because what I'm doing is just the eyes and the mouth. As long as you don't mix it, you got some working time, but once you mix that, your working time is less than 5 minutes. So what I want to do is I do want to get my flatbacks ready to go before I mix the glue together. And I have 2 of the tiny SS7s and 1 of the SS9s, okay? So now that I have that there and I have my tool ready, I use my katana because it is a perfect tool to pick up your flatbacks, unless it sticks to your silicone mat. Okay, just taking a toothpick here, I'm going to mix it together. Okay, and then once I do that, I do need my eyes to see this. What I look for is, if you notice on the flatbacks, you will have the facets will help you determine where you want to put your mouth and eyes. And so that's what I'm doing right now here. It's just, I need to get a little bit closer, not block my camera's view there. One moment, okay. I'm gonna pick this up for a moment out of view, sorry, just so I can see. There we go. So there's the mouth, and then there's the 2 eyes. So So I'm going to start, and then it just takes a little bit of glue, just a dab of that. I'm going to be putting the pieces, and I'm just dabbing it on the facets. And then I would take my katana and put them in place. There we go. Put it back in view for the camera. Yes, I know. I need to make sure I don't take it out of the camera's view. And then, this is just the hardest part because I have to be able to see it a little better. There we go. So now I'm just going to straighten out the eyes so they don't look all lopsided there. And there's our ghost face. Now I'm just going to set him aside while we do the rest, and I'll show you how to do that, and that gives him some time to dry. Okay, so for the body of the ghost, you're going to need 8 ball pins, and I staggered them. I made them starting with 2 in the middle, 6 in the back, and then I have 3, 4, and 5 going along the body side. I've gone ahead and strung them up here for you, but basically this is all you're going to do is you're just going to get a bead, and then you're going to put it in. Oh, put it down here so you can see what I'm doing. And then you get your second bead and put that on. And go ahead and, as I mentioned, I do want to take a few moments to answer any questions that you have while I do this. Marcia asked, can you make these with clip-on ear wires? Definitely so. You can use any ear wires. I like lever backs because that way they won't get lost on me. I feel that they're a little secure. But you can do clip-ons. You can do any ear wire that you prefer because that part is just attached with a jump ring when we're done with it. So as far as the ear wire goes, you can use whichever preference you like. Nicole says hi, and I love you. I love your costume. Thank you. It's a witch's broom. It came in with my broom. And Becky from Arkansas and Kelly from Indiana say hi. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're just joining us, make sure to share the video and like it so that your friends and family can come and watch it with you. So today we're going to teach you how to do simple loops and a wrap loop. For the body, I did a simple loop, so then that way it'd be easy to attach to the bead cap. For a simple loop, you're going to take your, once you have strung on your beads there, the first thing you do is you will take the wire and push it away from you so that it is at a 90-degree angle. And you can go ahead and do that with all of your pieces. I like to do it so that they're all ready, and then when I start with my loops, I'm just doing that automatically. So I've strung on 3 for the next one, and I'm just going to bend it away from me. And as I mentioned, just the front one's got 1, 2, and the back's got 6 beads on it. Every other one you want 2 of each. There's 3 here. Just bending it away. And so let's go ahead, and we're going to do that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And also, next week, Patty is going to be doing a live video with tassel earrings. And then I'll be back in 2 weeks, after, the week after that, doing some holiday earrings. So make sure to, if you haven't joined our channel, make sure to do that. And then you can be notified anytime we have some new videos coming up. Okay, so now that I've got all of my wires ready to go, they've all been bent. Now you're going to grab them with your round nose pliers. You're going to hold it, put like this so the camera can see. Oh, let me see down here. Here we go. Ah! I'm left-handed, so you're going to hold it like that with your wires, okay? And then you're going to, that wire that's away from you, the wire's soft enough that you can just use your hands to do this, but when you do the wrap loop, you're going to want to use an extra plier so that it's nice and tugged. But for these, I just use my hands. So I'm going to bend it back towards me. And there's a lot of different ways of making a simple loop. I used to do it differently until Patty came and worked with us, and she taught me this method, and I love it because they come out really nice and even round. The hardest thing with the simple loop is that you don't want to get a teardrop or number 9 shape. And so this makes sure that doesn't happen. So once I push that back towards me, I turn to my pliers about 45 degrees, and then I continue to bend that wire along the needle nose. Then I'm going to keep that needle nose in there and then turn it all the way back to the beads, and then continue to wrap that around. Okay? And what that does, not sure the camera guy can get this, but it'll make a nice even loop there. Now what you're going to do now is, now that I've made that loop, is I'm going to take my my needle nose pliers, and I'm going to bend this about almost 90 degrees, but just bend it back. And the reason I'm doing this, it gives me enough space to get my flush cutters in there to cut it. So then what I do is I hold it by the wire, and I will get my flush cutters right in there. It's going to be right up against the post that I'm keeping and the wire that I want to cut. Trying to do this for the camera guy. There we go. Okay. So once I get it in there, I just clip it. And it leaves that nice round loop. Now for now, I'm going to go ahead and straighten that loop out. I will go ahead and open it later when I attach it, but I want to have it straightened up upright so that it is nice and straight. So if you can see right there, we have a perfect simple loop. If you don't know how to do simple loops and you do this project, by the end of it you'll know, because you'll be doing 16 of them for one earring. So hi Karen from Maryland and Bertha from California. I want to thank you for joining us. Donna says that that's so cute. Thank you. She also says, I'm so happy you're left-handed, because I am too. Yes. I am left-handed, and it's different for a lot of things, but hey, it just makes it more challenging and fun to do things. I make it a little challenging for my camera guy at times. Okay, so once again, we're just going to be doing another simple loop. As I mentioned, we're going to be doing, at least for the video, 8 of them to get the body, but you'll need a total of 16 for a pair of earrings. So once that is, you bend it towards you, turn your loops again about 45 degrees, continue to bend it away from you, turn them, keeping it all the time inside of the wire there, and then you're going to continue to turn them up and around. Now, get your flat nose, bend it out of the way so that you can get your flush cutters in there. And then just go right in there and snip. Okay. And it's pretty much, this is all there is to this project. So I will continue to do that. Please feel free to ask any questions that you may have while I get these all ready for you. As I mentioned, we will be listing, if we haven't already, the list of materials of what it takes to make these. These are Swarovski crystals that I'm using, but you can also make them. I did make a pair with fire polish, and I'll show them here next to each other, that they're very similar. The fire polish are more of a white color, where the Swarovski is more of a translucent. I use the alabaster for those. Okay, so we're just doing some more simple loops here. Ruby says there's ghosts. These ghosts are great. Thank you so much. I just, Webb wanted some Halloween earrings, and so I kind of came up with these and had fun at it. And then they asked me to do a Halloween video, so I thought, hey, I want to do my ghost earrings. They're different. You're always seeing cats and witches and stuff, so I wanted to do something different. Okay. Just remember, after you cut that wire off, to make sure you bend that back upwards so that you have a straight eye pin with your beads on it. Okay. Anybody have any questions for me while we're here? I did mention about next week's video, and once again, I'm just doing simple wrap loose. Those of you who are just now joining us, thank you for joining us. I'm teaching you how to make some spooky ghost earrings with some Swarovski crystals. And at the moment, we're just doing some simple loops. So And it's a little different than the normal way you do simple loops. But like I mentioned earlier, Patty taught me this method, and I really like it because they come out nice and round and even every single time I make them. I'm not afraid of making real earrings with lots of loops anymore. I used to be like, oh, I'll figure another way of doing that. So, for those of you who just joined, make sure to subscribe and like this video so that your friends and family can come and join us, or maybe you want to watch it at a future date. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments there. And as I mentioned earlier, for those who just joined us, I do watch the video afterwards, and anything that has not been answered during the live show, I will go in and comment it. Because as you can tell, I'm not in front of the screen, so if you're asking me something, I do have somebody, a monitor, who will put questions up on the board for me to read. So if there's something specific you want, this is a great time to ask for it. Have any of you decided what you're doing for Halloween? Do you have costumes already? Love to hear what you're thinking of doing. Okay, it looks like somebody's got a question for me. So Molly from Houston says hi. Hi, Molly. Hope you're enjoying this. Not sure if is this your first time or if you've seen many of them. We started these live videos as a way to have fun when COVID first started, and it's been so popular with our customers that now we've just kind of incorporated it to our weekly events. Every Friday at 2 o'clock, we're doing some kind of live video here. So I got a couple more of these to do. Looks like actually one more, and then we can start attaching them. No, I'm missing one somewhere. I have to recount them. So once again, if you just joined us, this is how we do our simple loops. You're going to put on the beads to the ball pin. You're going to bend it 90 degrees away from you. Then you're going to take your chain nose pliers, or needle nose pliers, sorry. Take that wire, bend it back towards you. Move your wires about 45 degrees. Turn it again, the wire away, and then move those pliers all the way into the other side till you hit the bead again, and keep turning that around. That makes it so that you get a round, simple loop every time. If you just join us, I'm going to show you again so the camera guy can see it. So if you can see, it's making that beautiful bend and then turn. The other way, the ways I used to do it before, it didn't always come out that way. Sometimes it came out like a teardrop. Sometimes it came out like a number 9. So this method, you come out with perfect loops every time. Then when you bend it away, and then you get your flat nose pliers and you put that in there so that you can clip it off. There we go. Okay, and then once you do that, you want to bend it back up so that they're nice and straight. Oh, they got some comments on the board for me. Let me take a few moments. So Allie asks, could you use a larger bead to make a necklace? Most definitely. I kind of made a 4 to 8 kind of ratio to make these earrings, but you could definitely make them bigger if you want to make a pendant, you want to make a necklace. Just make them on bigger size, maybe like a 14 and a 10 millimeter might work. Just play with the different size beads till you get the look that you like. Jane says, I like the simple loop method. Yes, I have to give credit to my coworker Patty. That is not how I used to make it. I used to make it where you bend it, cut, and then you go and twist, 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 which works great, don't get me wrong, but she taught me this method because I asked her, I was like, how do you get your loops to be so perfect every time? And so she showed me the secret. And I've been using it ever since. Okay, so let me count these beads because I should have 8 and I'm missing 1 somewhere. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 2 4s, 2 3s, 3, 4, a 5 and a 6. Okay, so I'm missing another 5. So I needed 1 to have 5 beads on it. Currently have 2 there. I'm going to grab a couple more here. Okay. definitely take a few moments if you're watching us. Let us know where you're from. We always like to see, hear from people and where they're currently at while they're watching us. It's always nice to know. Okay. So now there's my 5th one. We're going to be, if you just joined us, you'll get to see how we made these. You start by just bending the wire away from you. Then you take your round nose pliers, take that wire that you bent away from you, bend it towards you, wrap it around the round nose plier, turn it about 45 degrees, continue wrapping it now away from you, keep turning the pliers, and then wrap it all the way towards you. Once that's done, take your flat nose pliers, or needle nose in this case, bend it out. Then I just hold it right there with the pin and get my flush cutters right in there at the very edge of it and clip it off. Okay, and then we are straightening these out. Okay, so now that I've got all of the body legs ready to go, I'm going to go check on the face and see if it's dry enough so that we can put our ghosts together. Before I do, I want to say hi to Erica from Hungary. Wow, thank you for joining us. And Myra from Arizona and Carol from California. Jessica said, glow-in-the-dark beads would make these extra spooky. Yes, I think those would be a real, I had not thought about that before, but I think that would be a really fun project to do. So now that my, those who joined us or just joined us, I went ahead at the beginning of the video and I went ahead and glued on my face to my beads. I like the faceted beads for this project because I'm not sure if the camera guy can get this on a white bead that close. Can you zoom in there by any chance? Because when you have the facets, then you can really see, it helps you to decide where to put the faces. So that's kind of why I like that. So to start the body, I did put a 4mm bead at the beginning of the pin. Then I put my bead cap on. Make sure you go through the middle hole and not one of the side holes. Okay, and that's just kind of gives it a little flowiness. And then I can put the head on. Okay, so that's going to be the top part of my ghost. And here I'm actually going to make a wrap loop instead of a simple loop. So for that, you are going to take your needle nose, keep calling it that, chain nose pliers, and that, the reason you want to do that instead of just bending it backwards, when you do a wrap loop, you have to have enough space on your head pin to give a place for the wrap loops to go. So by putting your needle nose, that's just enough space there. I also, just like a simple loop, you're going to bend it away. The difference now is I'm going to put in my needle nose like I was with a simple loop. I am going to bend it towards me like I did with the simple loop. Turn it at a 45 degree and bend it away. That part is all the same, a simple loop and a wrap loop. Here's where the chain difference comes in. I like to use an extra plier so that I can tug on it and I know that it's nice and tight. The other thing is, if you're just beginning, you're going to want to actually take this out and hold it with like a bent nose plier. The reason for this is if you keep your round nose pliers in there while you're doing the wrap loop, if you haven't done this before, you can mar the loop of your pin there because you don't realize how hard you're holding it. So it's best to do it this way. It's also will make it easier for the camera guy to see what I'm doing. So now I am taking it and I'm literally going to, like it says, I'm going to wrap it around. So I come this way and then I'm going to continue to wrap it around the post. And I start up high and as I'm wrapping it's going down until it gets to the bead and then I can't go anymore. The other thing you want to do when you're doing wrap loop, especially for earrings, is make sure you have the same amount of loops on both of them. So if I do it 3 times here, I want the other ring to have 3 times also. Okay, just continue. And then I just keep doing that until I can't go, because then I know it's nice and snug against the bead. Okay, and that's pretty much it right there. So now that I've done that, it's the same one that I did with the simple loop. I'm going to bend this away. That was another trick Patty taught me. This makes it so that when you cut your wire, you don't have that piece that sticks out really far away. So this will make it so that you can get in there really close and snug. Okay, so now what I'm going to take my flush cutters. Actually, I actually like to hold it by the actual wire I'm going to cut, so then I can kind of feel my way in there. And I just press the flush cutters all the way up against it, and then I cut. So then what I do, before I bend it up, is I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and see how that piece of wire, I'm not sure if you can zoom in that close or not, but see this little piece of wire here that's kind of sticking out? The chain nose, I'm going to take it and wrap it, to continue to wrap it around so that it doesn't stick out. And I do that before I straighten it out, so it gives room for that to get kind of tucked in there. There we go. Okay, and then once that's done, then I can straighten it out. And there we go. Okay, so he's all ready to go. Now we're going to hang the body to him. Before I do that, I want to take a few moments to say hi. Oh, we had a bunch of people who just joined in. We have Margaret, and I apologize if I pronounce anybody's name wrong. English is my second language. It's Margaret from Sydney, Dixie from Tennessee, Dolores from Montana, Tammy from Ohio, Sue from Michigan, and Mona from Canada. They all say hi. Hi, and thank you for joining us. Okay, so now to attach it, I started with the 2 in the front of the body. And when you're attaching it, it doesn't matter as far as the face, because this is going to all turn around and you can straighten them out later. But once you start, you do want to keep track of where you're at. Okay. So now I am going to open the loop that I just made. And the way to do that, if you have never opened a jump ring, is you want to have your hands, one's going to go away, one's going to go towards you. You never want to pull apart, because you'll lose the circle of your jump ring, or in this case, the loop. So I'm just, with my chain nose, I'm holding it, and I'm just taking the actual beads and pulling it away. I just want to open it just enough so that I can get it in the bead cap hole. And there we go. And then I let gravity help me by letting it dangle. And then I'm going to close it. Here I'm actually going to have to put on my eyes close so I can see what I'm doing and not get my head in the way of the camera. Okay, no, these aren't helping. That's too far. Okay. Let's go. So there's the one. And that's pretty much the project. We're going to go ahead and attach the rest of them. Now that I did the 2, I'm going to attach the 3s on each side of the 2 beads. And we want to just pull it open. And there you go. And then we're going to close it. Now the 3rd one. Ginger from California says hi, and Chantel from New York. So we pretty much have all over the world that have joined us today. Those of you who are just joining, we are making some spooky Swarovski earrings. I did mention earlier, with COVID and product being out of stock, we actually have everything in stock here. But if you want to do a more economical version, we also are giving you the materials list to make them with fire polish beads instead of Swarovski. Okay. Now I've done the 2 and 3, and I'm going to the 4s. Same thing, you want to just hold, pull away. That opens your jump ring, your loop. And now we're going to attach it. It's going to be right next to the 3. we go. Okay. Let's see. Anybody have any questions for me? You guys are quiet today. Normally my monitor's writing like crazy up there. Okay, I do have a question coming up. Okay. So if you're just joining us, we're at made the bodies. I've done 2, 3s, and 4s, and I'm going to attach 5 beads, and then the last one has 6 of them on it. So Molly asks, how can I find out when tours will resume? Oh, I don't know. Just at the moment, we are currently, I think we're at least, for now, we're not doing it through November for sure. Or no, through October for sure. We're just playing it day by day with COVID and social distancing and all that. We don't feel that it's safe for anybody to be coming in at the moment. So we're trying to keep our employees safe, and anybody who's shipping product to you, they're wearing masks, they're wearing gloves. So we're trying to do our best to keep this under control. But trust me, we miss the tours as soon as it's feasible for us to open for tours. I'm not sure where we would be announcing that, but I will try to find that out for you, and I can post it later. Or maybe one of the people monitoring can get that answered for you. I do know it's on the website, but I'm guessing the website says we're not open for tours at the moment. We actually have employees that give tour guides when we were open for tours. And we do miss seeing you guys' faces come through and saying hi to us. Okay, I have another question coming up here shortly. I'm on my last one. It had 6 beads on it. It'll be the back of the earring. There it is, finding the hole. Okay, Diana asks, in what order do you put the dangles with specific beads amount on the bead cap? There's not an order per se. You can have them all the same. I just liked it where it kind of, I'm not sure if our camera guy can get this here or not. Can you get this at an angle? Here we go. I don't know what to do to help you see it. But I just had the skirt going where it's short in the front and long in the back. So I started with 2 in the front, and then I did 3, 4, and then 5, and then 1 in the back. The very back one has 6. But there's no specific reason. It's just something I came up with. So, and as far as attaching them, I just make sure that there's not a specific order to attach them, other than if you want to keep that, then make sure that you have your 2, then the 3s and 4s next to each other. With the 6th one would be on the back of it. Here we go. We're on the last one here. I'm going to close it. And as I said, as you're attaching, everything turns around, but when you go to put them on, then you can straighten it out where you have it in the ghostly manner. Okay. Now the only thing left for this now is to attach your ear wire. Somebody asked earlier if I had to use if they could use it with post. You can use any ear wire you want. I just happen to choose lever backs for these, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. So to open a jump ring, if you've never opened it, you're going to take the opening of the jump ring and put it in one of your pliers. I like to use needle nose and bent nose pliers. And as I mentioned, just like the loops, when you open it in a jump ring, you want to turn one away and one towards you. You never want to pull it apart, or it will lose the roundness of it. I do it away from me, and then that way it's also easy to pick up if you're picking up a lot of jump rings. It's an easy way to pick things up. In this case, I am going to add first the ear wire. It doesn't matter which order you add it, but you're going to do the ear wire, and then you want to do the earring that we just made, the little ghost. And then you're going to close it. To close it, you're just going to come back the opposite way that you opened it. And you want to make sure you kind of look at it from the top that it's straight too, because you don't want to have it open and then lose what you made. So there is our little ghostly earrings. Yay! Okay, so Donna says these are adorable earrings. Thanks for showing it, LauraLynn. You're welcome, Donna. And also Carol says, very cute. Thanks. You're welcome. That was it for today's project. It was a very simple one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you make sure, as I said earlier, make sure to share and like the video. Also, you can subscribe to the channel so that you can be warned when we have any videos in the future. And I do hope you guys are all staying safe and take care. Bye.